Restricted monetization? This means I can't partner with advertisers on Facebook. Of course, I can't tag them, kind of a duh moment, and it may impact other tools for monetization as well. This is not good. We've got something a little different for you today on Metal Mastermind, and before we get into the meat and potatoes, let me tell you who this video is for. This is for active and working musicians. Whether you do this full-time or maybe you do it part-time if you're out playing solo shows or playing with your band part-time, or maybe you're a solo artist and you just want to do something or already doing something more with your music than it being just a hobby. As an active musician, you already know that you must have more than one source of income. You don't want to rely just on touring, for example. You don't want to rely just on your streaming sales. Please don't rely on that because you'll be very disappointed. You want to create multiple opportunities, and there are plenty of opportunities out there. Maybe we'll talk about that on another video. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would like to discuss. But in this video, I want to cover something very important that can happen to anyone with any kind of social media account. You can get flagged and or demonetized and sometimes kicked off the platform. So let me explain real quick what happened here, and I'm going to tell you why I think this happened. I don't know the real reason, and that's kind of the scary part. I'll talk about that in a second. Now, this is my business page, my business Facebook page here. Real quick, if you do not have a business page, and apply this concept all across the board to every social media account, YouTube, everything that you have, you must have a business, quote unquote, business presence, or if you want to call it an artist presence. In other words, you don't want to use a personal profile for this stuff, okay? If you're a band, of course, you've got your band's business page, right? Or if you're a solo artist, or if you have a business, you're producing or mixing or something like that, you want to establish a business page, and specifically if you're using Facebook, don't use your personal profile for this stuff. Be out there online as a legitimate artist and or business. I got this message today, says restricted monetization. I'm like, oh, great. Fortunately for me, I don't really use Facebook for this purpose. I run a lot of Facebook ads. It can be very profitable if you run advertisements, if you're trying to get your album sold, if you have physical merch, that sort of thing. Or like us at Metal Mastermind, we also use Facebook to run advertisements for our courses as well. So this is a good platform to do that with. So of course, I clicked the little button there that says request a review. I get an email back from that saying, well, just a bunch of jargon that nothing was being done about it. So of course, I respond back via email saying, hey, it would help if I knew exactly which videos out there caused this to happen. I'm pretty sure I know what it was, and I listed that. I'm going to get to that in a second here. I listed that, but just please review again and please let me know. Well, I get an email back almost immediately saying this decision was final. There will be no more communication about this, and that's it. Case is closed. Now, if I were partnering with brands on Facebook and that was a big source of income for me, like I know it is for some musicians, well, I would have been screwed just now. Done. Nothing I can do about it, okay? Here's why I think that I got demonetized on Facebook, and I'll share the difference between Facebook and YouTube here. So I believe it was for some cover songs that I posted. Now, those who follow Jason Stallworth, which that's me on YouTube and these platforms here, you guys know that I play live acoustic shows. I play live solo shows. So I will record a lot of my performances. And of course, I'm playing mostly cover songs from the 80s and from the 70s. So I'll record those and repurpose those for social media to put out there to showcase what I'm doing. This is a good way for me to get other gigs and a good way for me to advertise to my local audience and potential people that might come to the shows. Hey, this is what you're gonna get. On that note, I'm more concerned about that piece than I am the other. However, remember, again, if I were using Facebook to work with brands, well, my income streams would have just been annihilated right there. So that's very dangerous. It's very scary. Now, YouTube handles this a little bit differently, okay? I do have some cover songs or some parts of those cover songs on YouTube as well, but YouTube will just demonetize that particular video, and then the monies that are received from the advertising for that video, Google Ads, that money will go to, that share rather, will go to that publisher and or that record label, and hopefully they give some to the actual band and artist, because hey, they worked hard for this stuff. And that I understand, you know, of course I'm okay with that. I'm covering someone else's song, so I don't get the revenue for that, but I get the content that I make for my audience, and that's helpful. Now, of course, you don't want to have every video to be cover songs, because then you'll never see any revenue that way, and you want to build some for yourself and or for your band. But Facebook here, I learned they don't do that. They just kill it altogether. Now, my page is still there. Again, I just have some restricted monetizing capabilities. One of those being I can't work with brands. And that kind of sucks, because there have been some times where, hey, I'd like to work with a brand. I have built my Facebook audience up to almost 40,000 followers here. And the thing is, I don't know for sure that the cover songs are what made this happen, because Facebook will not respond. They just shut me down completely, not answering your email back. Case closed, we are done with this issue. So I am just demonetized for, I don't know, I guess for life. Who knows? Now, this may or may not impact you. You may not want to put cover songs out there on Facebook or any platform, and that's totally fine. I know most of us in bands or as artists, even if you're a solo performer like myself, most of us are wanting to write our own music and showcase that, okay? However, if you're in a band that plays cover songs and or a solo performer that plays some cover songs here and there, actually that's the majority of what I do for my solo shows in the local area, well, you may want to showcase some of that. So here's my advice. If you are using Facebook to collaborate with other brands, I would just stay away from posting covers altogether if that's something that you want to do. And that's not a bad way to generate a source of revenue for yourself. I mean, that's a really good way to do that. Of course, you can do that on YouTube as well. If you grow the channel and grow your audience, brands will start reaching out to you. So Facebook, back to Facebook here. Again, my purpose really wasn't to monetize anything. I rely on YouTube for that. Even Metal Mastermind here, you know, we are starting to grow this channel some, and that's going to be part of our revenue stream as well. And I try really hard not to be biased. We at Metal Mastermind even, my partner Ken Candelas and I, we've talked about this. We really try not to get emotional over platforms, because again, they're constantly evolving, constantly changing, but we can all say that YouTube, hands down, is the best. It is our preferred platform. Before we started Metal Mastermind together, I've been on YouTube since 2010. Ken Candelas and I started the Metal Mastermind channel. I think it was back in 2020-ish, something like that. And it is a good way to get your brand out there, to get your music out there, and to also drive some more revenue opportunities. And again, that's something we can talk about in a later video. Now, another thing, if you're posting on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever, of course, post your own original music. You can do that all day long. Now, there is one caveat to that. You want to make sure that if you're going through a publisher, make sure that you get with that service and that your social media accounts are connected, okay? So that you don't go post one of your own songs and it gets flagged, right? It's like, hey, that's this artist, which is you or your band, that's their song. So just make sure all that's connected. Every service probably has a different way of doing that. Now, I know this content today was much different than what we normally give you, so drop us a comment below. Let us know if this was helpful, and let us know if you'd like us to make some more content in this arena here, because I think this is really important for everyone that's pursuing music, whether it be full-time, part-time, or just, you know, releasing that first single. You're putting music out there, and again, a lot of musicians will post covers from time to time. And I don't know if this has happened to other people. Maybe it's happened to you. If it has, please leave that in the comments as well. Before you go, make sure you check the link in the description of this video. That's going to take you to our courses page. We have, most of you know this already, but we have an array of online courses that are specific to rock and metal musicians just like us. So we're really happy to have you here on the channel. So please check that out. We've got some new courses coming down the pipeline as well. So guys, thank you once again for the support. Please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you on the next video.